Hello everyone. It's James again. In today's video, I want to talk about something, or rather, a message that's important for all couples to hear. And that is, it's okay to protect your woman. And it's okay to say no to her as well. First, I would like to say, society has stripped away the idea of a man protecting his woman in his home as being normal. The word jealous is thrown around almost without thought, and is used as a slam on any man trying to protect his home. Now don't get me wrong. There can be overprotective men and women out there. But in all reality, there are some basic things that any and all men and women should object to. And sadly when they do, society paints them as jealous, overprotective, and weak. When in reality it's these very protective instincts that help keep a family unit on course. Look out! There's those words again. Family unit. You see, that feminist agenda really wasn't started by your average housewife. And it really wasn't even started by women. I state this again on this video, as there are certain points that need to be repeated and repeated until people start to grasp a hold of these concepts. Research them and understand them for what they are. The feminist movement was funded by rich Wall Street types. And the women that were funded weren't your typical women. These were women largely that had no interest or attraction to men. I will repeat. These were women largely that had no interest or attraction to men. Sadly, these women got a stranglehold on society's thoughts and viewpoints, because good men and women said and did nothing to make it known what this group was really about. Well, there were a few that tried, and they were quickly silenced. Some, I might add, that were women that tried to protect men from this new way of thinking. Sadly, men, however, in the beginning didn't take what was going on seriously. They thought these women were funny, and they let them build up steam. And before they knew it, it appeared to be too late to turn things around. But the reality is it's still not too late. No weird formula is needed to fix or remedy these problems. It just requires men and women to speak up, speak out, correct the problem through education. That being said, the women at the time that were funded by these high-paying bankster types used tactics on both men and women of name-calling. They name-called good men and women into silence. One of these tactics that were used was calling all men jealous. If your woman wanted to go and spend time with another man, and you objected, you are called jealous. If your woman wanted to go to a singles nightclub or bar without you, and you objected, you are called jealous. And I will tell you something. The most understanding man in the world will get a deep gut feeling when something is wrong, or when his wife or girlfriend is doing something that could put their relationship in danger. This isn't jealousy to say no, or to object. This is a normal internal response to danger, and a way to protect oneself and one's family from this danger. I want you to think about something carefully. Why is it that a good parent may have trouble with their young child sleeping over at a friend's house? Are these parents jealous? No. They know there's a good possibility for something bad to happen. It's not a fear. It's a reality. A parent like this might let their child go and spend time over at a friend's house, but no spending the night until a certain age, or until they have known the parents of this other child for a great deal of time. You may ask, what does this have to do with protecting your wife or girlfriend? Well, it has a lot to do with protecting your wife or girlfriend. We as rational thinking people deep down inside know how life works, and we know how to avoid danger so we can keep being successful at life. However, sadly there are those that want to see us not be successful, that will call us names because they know that's a powerful way to get us to drop our defenses and to abandon all of what we know to be true and good. So in the example of not letting your child go and spend the night at a friend's house is a normal protective instinct, because you know lots of bad things can happen. Though the parents of this other child seem nice, you don't know what bad things they are into, or what they might do with your child once your child is there in their home. Now this doesn't mean that your child isn't on soccer team, or isn't out doing all of the social activities that kids do. No. They are indeed doing such fun activities, and their parents are involved in all of these things. But these parents know something very important. Never trust a stranger with your child. Again, I repeat, never trust a stranger with your child. Now how this example applies to our topic is never trust a stranger with your woman. And also, never trust a stranger with your money. And when I say stranger, I mean someone outside of your home. This could be your neighbor or your best friend. There are stories that have been happening for ages of the man that goes off to war. He tells his best friend to keep an eye on his wife for him. By the time this man comes back from war, his friend is now living in his house, dating his wife, and helping the wife divorce you. Now keep in mind, this is a friend doing this to another friend. This is very much the same when a man objects to his wife spending so much time with a male co-worker of hers, or keeping in touch with one of her ex-boyfriends, or her, every few months, going out to a singles bar or club and forbidding you to be there. For one, if you notice these red flags early on in a relationship, leave and don't look back. However, I want to mention something to the ladies. If you have a normal guy that treats you well, and thinks it's great you have lady friends, that you have a happy life, he never says no to anything. But then all of a sudden something comes up, such as an old ex-boyfriend shows up in your life, and he wants to go to coffee with you, and you think it's harmless. However, your current boyfriend or husband says no. He doesn't think it's right. I will tell you, this man of yours that's telling you no, and that it's not right, is telling you the truth. And he's not saying what he's saying out of being jealous. He's saying no because he realizes the danger. He knows this strange man showing up doesn't have his best interest at heart. That this strange man, despite what he says, isn't going to be looking out for your husband or boyfriend. He's going to be looking out for himself and what's good for him. But you might say, well, he should just trust me to make the right choice. If I go to have coffee with my ex, and it will tell you this, walking up to danger and shaking its hand isn't a good choice to begin with. So usually someone that will make this first bad choice will follow through with more bad choices. You see, society has brainwashed all of us into thinking all of this madness is somehow normal. That if you don't want to share your wife with other men, then you're jealous. That a man that has boundaries is someone overprotective. What we are needing is the protective male to rise back up and start to say no again, and realize it's okay. And women need to start instilling in your young boys this way of thinking. Otherwise your young boy will grow up to be a doormat. You see, there are several components to this feminist agenda, but the main goal is to make man and women relationships abnormal. I will repeat this again. The main goal of the feminist agenda is to make man and women relationships abnormal. Because the women that were funded to start this agenda had no physical desire to have relationships with men to begin with. And by this agenda taking hold of society, the family unit disappears, and the children that are born going forward have no sense of character, morals, or identity. They will be raised by television programming. I will say it again. They will be raised by television programming. And all sense of right and wrong will be lost. And the funny thing is, the women that were funded to do all of this were a small little group of men haters in the beginning. That's right, they were a small group. Only a handful of these people changed the course and direction of how families and men and women interact with each other. And by using words like jealous, you allowed them to strip you of your rights to recognize danger, and to say no to things that could hurt your home. I think that every man and woman has the right to speak up in their home when they see something that's not right and that's potentially dangerous for their family unit. However, society tells us only women have this right to speak up about such things, and that leaves our young boys lost. The good thing is there are many women out there feeling something is missing. They are missing the level of protection they instinctively want, though many rebel against it. It's time both men and women speak up and say, it's okay to be protective. Especially for the man. Because that's been our primary role for centuries. And this role is being stripped away by the feminists that want men to be no more than servile, compliant, worker bees, with no other life purpose. But I'm here to say, if you're a man and want a normal relationship with a woman, that's normal. And that's okay. If you're a woman, and you want a normal relationship with a man, that's normal. And that's okay as well. And stop letting people use words to bully you into not making the right choice for you and your family. Because it will be you that will have to deal with the fallout once your family unit crumbles. Like I always say, knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we can live happy and healthy lives. Until next time, bye for now, and be good to yourself.